All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are digging into the story of a band you might know from a viral internet meme. But trust me, their legacy in the world of heavy music is anything but a joke. We're talking about the super theatrical, incredibly complex, and always boundary-pushing world of Mudvayne.
You've heard it. I mean, if you've been on the internet at all in the last decade, you know that sound, that iconic brr, brr, dang bass line. It's got to be one of the most recognizable musical memes out there, a sound that pretty much became the theme song for a certain kind of technical, heavy metal.
So yeah, that sound actually has a name, Berber Dang, and it just blew up as a meme. It spawned countless parodies, all these image macros, and they all celebrate this incredibly distinct kind of percussive bass line that was created and performed by the band's absolute monster of a bassist, Ryan Martinie.
But you know, behind every great meme is, well, in this case, a landmark song for its time, a track that introduced the world to a band that was completely unique and didn't compromise on anything. So what's the real story behind Berberdang? Okay, so the song is called Dig, and it's so much more than just a meme. This thing is a certified metal anthem, and it's what launched a legendary career. And here's the proof that Dig is a big deal. I mean, it was released back in 2000 as their debut single, and it won the first ever MTV2 award. It beat out huge names like Gorillaz and Alicia Keys. And get this, it was just recently certified platinum, which just goes to show you it has this incredible decades-long staying power.
And Dig? This was the world's introduction to a totally one-of-a-kind band from Peoria, Illinois, who were basically about to just completely shake up the entire heavy music scene. So the band got together in 1996. You had the super intense and dynamic vocalist Chad Gray, also known as Kud. Then there was Greg Tribbett, or Gerg, on guitar, Matthew McDonough, or Spag G, on drums, and of course, the man behind the Berber Dang, bassist Ryan Martinie, who went by Rhino, and his crazy complex slap bass technique, that became a cornerstone of their whole sound.
They really just didn't sound like anybody else at the time. Their style got this label pretty quick. Math metal. And it makes sense, right? It was because of these intricate, rhythmically complex structures. We're talking about unconventional time signatures and these wild polyrhythms that you'd probably expect to find in a jazz fusion band, not a nu metal group. They were pulling from everything, death metal, thrash, prog rock, and creating something totally new and challenging.
But you know, it wasn't just their sound that set them apart. It was their totally unforgettable visual identity, which became both their calling card and honestly, a source of a lot of frustration. So the band used this really elaborate face and body paint. Chad Gray explained they were inspired by movies, by modern art. They just wanted to bring this really powerful, almost cinematic visual element to their live shows. But this artistic choice led to endless, and for them, really tiresome, comparisons with their masked contemporaries, Slipknot.
And man, this quote from Chad Gray really just lays bare the internal conflict they were dealing with. They got so frustrated by the constant comparisons that the band just stopped wearing the makeup. And later, you can hear Chad reflecting on it, calling the decision a big downfall, because they took away this huge visual thing that the fans had connected with so strongly. But here's the wild part. Even after dropping the makeup, their success didn't slow down. Nope, it actually grew. Their 2005 album, Lost and Found, debuted at #2 on the Billboard 200 charts. That made it their most commercially successful album ever and really proved that, look or no look, their music could absolutely stand on its own. So after a whole string of 5 successful albums and a decade of just pushing the envelope, the band's journey took another pretty significant turn. Let's look at this career arc, right? They hit this huge commercial peak with Lost and Found. They even got a Grammy nomination for the track Determined. But then, after their self-titled album came out in 2009, they went on a long hiatus in 2010. For a long time, that seemed to be it. And then, bam, 2021 rolls around, and to the absolute excitement of fans everywhere, they announced their official return. So all this leaves us with a final thought. I mean, Mudvayne's journey from the underground all the way to the top of the charts, through a decade of silence, and then into viral internet fame, it really just shows that true artistic innovation, it endures. It proves that a truly unique sound, and yeah, a killer bass riff, can transcend time, trends, and even become a part of our digital culture. I mean, that's the power of Mudvayne.